fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The catacombs pressed around us, not with the gentle comfort of a lover's embrace, but with the suffocating intensity of one gone wrong. Clammy stone leached the heat from my skin, and the air hung thick with the metallic tang of old blood, a scent that clung to the back of my throat. It wasn't the first time I'd smelled death, not by a long shot, but this was different. It felt intentional. Kale moved ahead, a dark silhouette against the flickering torchlight. His broad shoulders, perpetually tense, blocked most of the illumination, leaving me to navigate by the scant glow reflecting off the damp stone walls. The sweat-damp linen of his shirt clung to the sculpted muscles of his back, a testament to a decade spent honing his body into a weapon pointed, more often than not, at me. "Keep up, princeling," he tossed over his shoulder, the words dripping with that infuriating arrogance. It was a carefully constructed facade, I knew, a shield against something, but it still worked. It still managed to ignite a frustrating mix of annoyance and something else. Something I actively suppressed. I wanted to strangle him, to wipe that smug look off his face. Or, God's help me, to kiss it away. I swallowed hard, the lump in my throat a familiar companion. We'd been at each other's throats for years, a constant push and pull of wit and exasperation. He saw me as a pampered noble, soft and useless. I saw him as a brute, all muscle and no finesse. But this job, this cursed tomb beneath the ruins of old Valoria, it changed things. Or perhaps it stripped away the pretense, revealing something raw and undeniable beneath the surface. The air grew heavier with each descending step, the temperature plummeting until my breath plumed white in the torchlight. Every inhalation tasted of decay, of dust and forgotten things. But beneath that, a darker scent lingered, something acrid and unsettling. It wasn't just the smell of death anymore. It was desire, maybe, or madness, or a terrifying blend of both. My hand instinctively went to the hilt of my own sword, a gesture more for reassurance than preparation. I wasn't a warrior like Kale. I was a scholar, a strategist, but I could hold my own. I had asterisk too. The passage opened into a vast chamber, the ceiling lost in shadow. Sarcophagi lined the walls, their stone surfaces cracked and worn, and then they moved, not all at once but one by one, figures rising from their centuries-long slumber. Corpses animated by some dark magic, their eyes glowing with an unholy light. Kale reacted instantly, a whirlwind of steel and fury. He didn't shout, didn't offer a warning. He simply moved, his sword a silver arc in the dim light. One of the creatures lunged, its decaying hand reaching for my throat. Before I could even raise my own weapon, Kale's body was there, a shield between me and the monstrosity. His sword arm brushed against my chest, the contact sending a jolt of heat through my veins. The force of his movement pressed me back against the cold stone wall. He dispatched the creature with brutal efficiency, a swift, precise strike that severed its head. He didn't even look at me, his focus already on the next threat, but I felt his presence, the heat of his body, the subtle scent of sweat and steel. "Still alive," he murmured, his lips grazing my ear as he spun to face another attacker. The sound of his voice, so close, sent shivers down my spine. I hated how my blood burned at the contact, how my heart hammered against my ribs. I hated how good it felt. Perfectly, I managed to rasp, my voice betraying my composure. I pushed myself away from the wall, forcing myself to focus on the battle. We fought back to back, a chaotic dance of death. Kale was a force of nature, cutting down the creatures with relentless precision. I provided support, using my knowledge of ancient runes to disrupt their movements, to weaken their defenses. Finally, the last of the creatures fell, collapsing into dust and bone. Silence descended, broken only by our ragged breathing. Kale sheathed his sword, the metallic clang echoing in the chamber. He turned to me, his eyes scanning my face for injuries. "You all right?" he asked, his voice rough. "I've faced worse," I lied. My legs were trembling and my hands were shaking, but I wouldn't let him see that. He didn't press the issue. Instead, he turned his attention to the far end of the chamber, where a pedestal stood bathed in an ethereal glow. The relic, it pulsed with a soft, rhythmic light like a heartbeat that seemed to resonate within my own chest. Kale's fingers dug into my hip, guiding me forward. The grip wasn't painful, but it was possessive, claiming, "Take it and we're bound," he warned, his voice low and dangerous. "The curse, it's potent, we'll share it." I should have cared about the curse. I should have been thinking about the consequences, about the risks. But all I saw were his eyes, black as the void between stars, and the promise they held. A promise of danger, of power, of something more. The relic beckoned, its light growing brighter, and I found myself reaching for it, not with trepidation, but with a strange, unsettling anticipation. I knew with a certainty that chilled me to the bone that taking that relic would change everything. Not just our mission, but us. And a part of me, a reckless, foolish part of me, was desperate to find out how.